24-year-old Ryan Tyler Watts is behind bars for attempting to drown a female relative last month. At 9:44 p.m. on the 5th of June, authorities responded to a home along Royal Troon Drive in Rainbow City, Alabama, after receiving a 911 call of domestic violence. Officers responded to the scene and learned that Ryan broke into a family member's home and tried to drown the woman before fleeing the scene. Rainbow City police were later notified by the Atala police that they located Ryan and his vehicle at Johnson's Giant Foods, roughly 5 miles away from his relative's house. Authorities said that Ryan drove his vehicle through the wall of the grocery store and he was still inside the vehicle when they arrived. He was hospitalized from the incident and warrants for attempted murder were obtained on the 6th of June. After being released from hospital on Friday the 14th of July, he was booked into the Etowah County Detention Center where he's been held on a $100,000 bond. The investigation into the matter continues. A 44-year-old woman has been jailed after fatally stabbing a 61-year-old mother. At around 11:45 a.m. on Saturday the 15th of July, authorities responded to a home in the 100 block of Wimbish Place in Danville, Virginia for a welfare check. When officers arrived, they found Marie Boynton unresponsive with multiple stab wounds. She was pronounced dead at the scene, and Marie's daughter Ebony Home was identified as a suspect. Ebony was arrested and charged with second-degree murder and is held at the Danville City Jail without bond. The motive of the attack is unclear, as the investigation into the matter continues. 22-year-old Christian Hooks has been charged with DUI manslaughter after hitting a pedestrian and fleeing the scene. Authorities said that at 12:42 a.m. on Saturday the 15th of July, Christian was driving at a high rate of speed on Missouri Avenue, near Druid Road in Clearwater, Florida, when he hit 34-year-old Joshua Maxson. Callers reported seeing a man lying in the roadway soon after the crash. Upon arriving at the scene, officers found Joshua dead in the roadway and identified Christian as the suspect. Investigators tracked Christian down about 20 minutes later. He was drunk and failed field sobriety tests. Breath samples of .217 and .223 were obtained. Florida's legal blood alcohol limit is .8, so he was almost 3 times over the legal limit. Christian was arrested and is held at the Pinellas County Jail. The investigation into the matter continues. Police are investigating after a man was fatally shot and his girlfriend was injured during a shooting. At 7:39 p.m. on Thursday the 13th of July, authorities responded to the 1700 block of South State Street in Champaign, Illinois, and reports of shots fired. When officers arrived, they found 20-year-old Jaheim Law in a critical condition with a gunshot wound to his head, and a 21-year-old female victim with a gunshot wound to her leg. They were both taken to a local hospital. At 9:59 that night, Jaheim died from his injuries. The woman is recovering from non-life-threatening injuries. Police said their initial investigation showed 2 large groups had gathered and engaged in a physical altercation in a parking lot, and during the altercation, someone pulled a gun and fired, striking Jaheim and the female victim. The 2 groups then fled the area, but several people were detained for questioning by arriving officers. Latrice Jones, Jaheim's aunt, said that Jaheim wasn't involved in the altercation, but was working at the time and was being protective of his girlfriend. She said that he went outside to the parking lot to ask his girlfriend to come back inside Taco Bell when they were both shot. Latrice said that Jaheim was a hard-working man trying to take care of his 2 babies. Officers continue to interview witnesses and review surveillance footage of the area. No arrests have been made to date as the investigation into the matter continues. 27-year-old Lewis Thomas is behind bars for fatally shooting his 27-year-old girlfriend Latoria Mitchell. Investigators said that just before midnight on Friday the 14th of July, Latoria was shot outside a home at 542 South 6th Street in Nashville, Tennessee. Prior to the shooting, Latoria had gotten into an argument with Lewis at a nightclub. Lewis pushed Latoria, and Lewis was escorted out of the club. Later that night at 11:40 p.m, police said that Lewis drove to Latoria's apartment when another altercation occurred. Latoria then retreated outside, and Lewis followed, shooting her multiple times. He continued to shoot her as she lay on the pavement before fleeing the scene. Lewis was later found and arrested on James Robertson Parkway. In an interview, he implicated himself in the shooting and admitted to disposing of a pistol in the woods. Lewis is charged with criminal homicide and evidence tampering and is held without bond.